is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. President or Presiding Officer. I'd like to direct my clarificatory question to the witness on the stand, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Jeremy Lontok,
Opo, Your Honor.
what findings, if any, convince the NBI the motive of the respondent to kill the president and two other people? Meron po bang kayong nakitang motibo? Kasi maaari pong sabihin lang nung isang tao sa sobrang galit niya, na pag-usapan na po kanina yan, di ba? Spur of the moment. Pero did you find any motive? Bakit niya po gagawing patayin ang Pangulo?
Yes, Your Honor. As I've said before, when we take into consideration all the facts and circumstances surrounding that issue, nagkaroon ng hindi magandang relasyon yung dalawa, and then nagbato na ang Vice Presidente ng mga salitang mabibigat laban sa Presidente. Pinapakita doon sa October 18 na toxic na nga yung relationship nila. Galit na galit si Sara dahil sinasabi ng Vice Presidente is politically motivated yung pag-attack sa kanya. And then at the same time, pinagtutulungan siya ng buong gobyerno. So, then the-trigger ho yun, if my memory serves me right, nung incident nangyari noong 23 November 2024. So parang nagpatong-patong na ho siya, convolution ng iba't ibang issue. So nakita ho namin talagang galit ang Vice Presidente sa Presidente.
Okay, so you saw that the Vice President is very angry, right? Galit po siya. Did the investigation uncover any evidence, if there's any, that the respondent had taken steps to carry out these threats or these statements that she made in public and online? Did you have or did you cover any evidence?
Your Honor, insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned, we focuses on the investigation on the alleged grave threats and inciting to sedition. Ngayon, pagdating doon whether or not meron na-execute na o may inutusan, I think ang makakasagot po niyan, Your Honor, yung aming director, kasi sa kanya po yung pool ng information. At the same time, yung jurisdiction na yan, nasa intelligence service po namin. Kami ho nasa investigation service. So, insofar as the NBI Cybercrime Division is concerned, at that time, nakafocus ho kami sa grave threat and inciting to sedition. But insofar as whether meron na bang in-engage ang Vice Presidente, jurisdiction ho yan ng aming intelligence service. At maybe ang makakasagot niyan yung aming director, kasi siya po yung recipient ng full of information from different divisions and regions.
You mean inciting to sedition will be answered by the director, is that correct? Kasi parang hindi po natalakay kanina yung inciting to sedition. Is it?
Well, Your Honor, inciting to sedition, in our investigation, we were able to establish that those utterances from 18 October 2024, November 23, 2024, and other facts and circumstances, even the November 26, 2024, we believed that those utterances have a tendency, Your Honor, to stir up the people, to go against the government, have tendency to disturb the public peace of the community, the peace of the community, and have tendency to undermine public safety and public order. And I think that's elements of the inciting to sedition, Your Honor.
I have last two questions,
Please proceed.
Mr. Presiding Officer. So you're saying they're intertwined, killing the president and then inciting the people to revolt against the government. They're intertwined. Is that what you're saying?
Based on our findings, Your Honor.
Based on your findings. And what could be the motive of the vice president inciting people to sedition, to revolt against the government, when in fact she will be the next president of the republic. She's been saying, and everybody knows, and she's been claiming. Well, why do you think? I mean, did you look deeper? Why incite to sedition? I mean, when in fact you're the vice president. Usually, in our country, Mr. Witness, the vice president would run for presidency. What could be the motive?
Well, Your Honor, what we have established is the fact that the relationship between the two were already hostile. And what we established is the fact that the Vice President has committed great threats and inciting to sedition. Yun ho yung focus namin, Your Honor. Insofar as yung mas malalim pa na motibo, wala akong personal knowledge.
All right.
Your Honor.
Well, I'm running out of time. Can you identify the strongest piece of evidence which you relied in deciding to file these cases before the Department of Justice? And what is the status of this case, Mr. Witness?
Well, Your Honor, the pieces of evidence that we attached or we incorporated in our investigation is sufficient and has satisfied the requirements of the quantum of evidence required, which is prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. And the fact, Your Honor, that the Department of Justice has issued certification stating that your referral, your transmittal, has complied all the elements of the crime charge and therefore good for preliminary investigation.
What is the status of the case, Mr. Witness?
It's ongoing, Your Honor. If kung tama ang naalala ko, it's ongoing, Your Honor.
One very, very quick question, Mr.
Kindly
Presiding
wind
Officer.
up, Senator Judge.
Do you think at this point you have an airtight case against the respondent?
I believe so. Yes, Your Honor. Otherwise, the Department of Justice would not issue a certification stating to the effect na kumpleto ang elements namin, na nakuha namin yung requirement, at ready na siya for preliminary investigation.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Senator Judge Tulfo. Senator Judge Ontiveros, Senator Judge Villanueva, and thereafter we pause for a 10-minute break. You may proceed, ma'am. You have 2 minutes.
Salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Lotok,
Opo, yes, Your Honor.
sa affidavit of investigation dated February 10, 2025, nirekomenda ng NBI na sampahan ng mga kasong grave threats at inciting to sedition ang vice-presidente. Pwede po bang idahilan sa mga kasong yan na nadala lang ng emosyon or may matinding trigger kaya nakapagsambit ng ganoon?
I don't think, Your Honor, kasi wala naman ho sa elements ng grave threats yung situation na yon. As long as we were able to satisfy the elements for grave threats, Your Honor, and when the Department of Justice certifies na kumpleto yung elemento doon, so no, Your Honor, hindi ho yan mamatter doon sa findings namin.
At yung sinabi po ninyong elements of grave threats, yun po yung apat na in-enumerate nyo kanina. Ano pong elements of grave threats?
Yes, Your Honor. Number one, that a person threatened to inflict another person upon the latter's person, honor, property, or that of the latter's family with any wrong. That's the first element. The second element, that wrong amounts to a crime. Then the third element is yung may demand for money or may condition na imposed. In our investigation, mayroon hong tatlong acts para makommit yung grave threats. Base doon sa tatlong elements na sinabi ko, the offender have complied with the threat na sinabi niya. The offender, hindi niya na-comply yung threat na sinabi niya, or yung pangatlong act, yung walang condition, yung threat na yon, Your Honor.
Mga 2 beses nyo po binanggit yung salitang kondisyon, Attorney Lotok. Itatanong ko yan mamaya-maya. Sa DOJ po, sa DOJ naman, may criteria ng reasonable certainty of conviction bago magsampa ng kaso. Sa
Yes, Your Honor.
NBI, yes, Attorney, sa
Opo.
NBI, ano naman po ang pamantayang sinusundan ninyo bago magrekomenda ng kaso?
Well, sinusunod din ho namin yung quantum of evidence na prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. Kaya ho, kung makikita nyo, yung pong aming processes o yung phases, yung pang last po niya is legal evaluation. Meaning, pag meron na ho kaming conclusion, bago ho namin ito i-submit sa Department of Justice, meron hong referral kaming ginagawa sa legal division or nagpapatulong ho kami sa aming mga legal experts. So sila ho ngayon yung nag-evaluate, sila ang mag-qualify kung na-satisfy na yung requirements at kung pwede na siyang i-submit sa Department of Justice for purposes of preliminary investigation, ma'am.
Alright, salamat, Attorney. So kahit papaano, ina-approximate nyo yung criteria na sinusundan ng DOJ, kahit bilang NBI.
Yes, Your Honor, and that is on the basis of our cherished principle, the two-pillar rule in investigation, thoroughness and legality, Your Honor.
Alright, salamat po. Eto, in principle, kailangan po ba ng patunay na may kinontratang assassin para maituring na grave threats ang mga sinabi?
Well, Your Honor, in so far as the crime of grave threat is concerned, hindi po yan kailangan.
Alright. Speaking of condition, kanina na binanggit nyo 2 beses. Posible po ba ang grave threats kahit may kondisyon ang banta? Ibig sabihin yung kapag ito nangyari sa akin, ito ay mga gawin mo. Kahit may kondisyon yung banta, posible po ba ang grave threats?
Very much possible, Your Honor. As I have said, grave threats can be committed with or without condition. And as a matter of fact, meron akong naalalang isang case, SPO2 Jamaica versus Attorney Bangot. Ang sabi ho doon ni SPO2 Jamaica, if I lose my job, I will break your head or I will. So it's for us, it's a kind of event-based condition na matitrigger yung execution ng threat pag nangyari yung event. But then when the Supreme Court nag-decide the Supreme Court at sabi niya, the threat was absolute. So it's
Sinabi ng SC
absolute yung threat, you know,
Okay.
hindi conditional. So parang ganito, akin sa situation dito, meron siyang sort of event-based condition na pag nangyari yung event, matitrigger ngayon yung threat na inatter ng offender,
So,
Your Honor.
masasabi pong may jurisprudence po dahil may nakikita kayong paghahalintula dun sa kasong ni rule ng SC, kaugnay ni PO2 Jamaica at itong kay Vice President.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. Huling tanong na lang po, Attorney Lotok. Bilang abogado po, as a general rule, kailan po masasabing lampas sa free speech ang pananalita at nagiging grave threats o inciting to sedition na?
Well, we consider the two tests. Number one, yung hindi ko mabigkas, Your Honor, but it's like ano bang tendency rule? If I may, Your Honor, just to refer my notes.
May he, presiding
Just-
officer.
Konti lang
Witness
po.
may do so.
Yeah.
Kindly turn on the mic. Witness may do so, yes.
Thank you po, Your Honor. We consider, Your Honor, the clear and present danger rule and the dangerous tendency rule. But among the two, ang nakita ho namin yung the dangerous tendency rule, meaning if the speech would have a tendency to create chaos or to create illegal acts, then that should be restricted. Pag may tendency ho na magiging ganon ang resulta.
So, huli po, attorney, masasabing bang may parang spectrum pwedeng nagsisimula sa free speech pero pag lumalapit na dun sa dangerous tendency rule ay maaari na talagang tumawid sa magiging grave threats o inciting to sedition. Yon.
Yes, Your Honor. Pwede ho yun.
Alright. Maraming salamat po, Attorney Lotoc. Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, noted and entered into the records. Senator Judge Villanueva, you have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President, Presiding Officer. Just a few questions to our witness. Mr. Witness, it's been mentioned several times the importance of your investigation, that it falls under yung prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. And nabanggit niyo po na fulfill po lahat yan, no? Kaya ho siguro nagkaroon ng first report at second report. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And can you just for the record give us an idea ano yung mga boxes that you have to fill in para pumasok po dito?
You mean, Your Honor, yung comment ng Department of Justice dun sa first affidavit namin?
Yes, to make it clear na it's indeed goes dito sa pumapasok siya dun sa prima facie evidence with the reasonable certainty of conviction.
Well, basically, Your Honor, yung requirements na binigay ng DOJ from our point of view were administrative requirement. Hindi ho yun yung sustansya ng aming affidavit. Kasi hindi ho namin binago yung affidavit namin, yung pa rin ho yun eh. Ang nakita ho ng DOJ doon, yung affidavit ng, I think, authentication na kailangan i-attach doon, and others, yung TSN, affidavit of transcription, this is, from our point of view, to satisfy the requirements of admissibility. But insofar as the substance nung aming affidavit, Your Honor, hindi namin binago yon nung yung pangalawang submit namin.
So it didn't change, so that's part of your
Hindi
fourth
ho-
stage, no, yung legal evaluation. In that stage na legal evaluation, no, was it considered, Mr. Witness, yung binabanggit ni Vice President and even some of the defense panel, no, na it is actually a conditional threat, that, and it appears that the Vice President during the presentation of the video is also getting threats. What can you say about that?
Well, insofar as the threat against the life of the Vice President, the very reason why we issued subpoena and we sent letter for us to have the chance to talk to the Vice President and elicit some information, baka mayroon siyang maibigay na lead na pagsisimulan namin. Unfortunately, hindi ho siya nagpakita ng 2 beses at wala ho siyang may ipinadalang representative para magbigay ng info. Kahit info lang na mapavalidate namin, then matitrigger ho yung aming...
But part of your investigation, did you pursue that? If indeed there is a threat to the Vice President?
Yes, Your Honor. We nag-check kami sa mga open sources. Nagtanong din kami. But again, insofar as the cybercrime division is concerned, limited ho kami doon, Your Honor, sa cases na may cyber aspect. Siguro ang makakasagot po niyan, yung aming intelligence service. Sila po ang may hawak dyan sa mga issue na yan. Kasi sila ho po yung recipient ng mga information from different
But do you
assets.
think it is important, if it is a conditional threat, it is also important to look at this aspect?
Yes, Your Honor. I think
Thank
so,
you.
Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, gusto ko lang maintindihan din yung standard na ginagamit ng National Bureau of Investigation. Kung hindi po ma-identify o ma-locate ang sinasabing assassin, does that automatically mean that the threat is no longer credible or actionable? Or does the NBI still consider the statements uttered and the surrounding circumstances and the totality of the evidence before deciding to proceed with further investigation?
No, Your Honor, the threat was absolute. We follow the test of mens rea, Your Honor, in considering whether the threat is totoo. Una, we examine the utterances objectively, and we interpret the same in light of the circumstances where the utterances was made, the manner in which they were spoken, the person to whom they were addressed, the relationship between the parties, and the reactions of the recipients of those utterances, Your Honor.
Yes,
So-
yes, thank you, Mr. Witness. I have here with me yung binanggit po nyo sa notes ko, yung 4 stages, identification and pag-preserve ng digital evidence, collection of evidence, analysis and attribution, legal evaluation, and then you have the 3 statements. Binanggit nyo rin tanggalin ulo niya, toxic relationship, and I always see myself cutting his head. Now, you also mentioned the factors considered: delivery manner, literal meaning, nature of the instruction, relationship of the parties, and last but not the least, yung utterances na
Opo.
binanggit nyo doon sa October 18 and November 20. Last question, Director Luntok. Bukod po doon sa authentication ng recordings, maaari nyo po ba sa amin ipaliwanag yung kung ano po yung mga naging batayan ng NBI sa pag-assess sa mga pahayag ng respondent? Halimbawa po, binabanggit po ninyo yung kakaibang bagay na nangyari dito sapagkat ang binabanggit nyo pong nagbibigay ng statement ay dun sa nakita nating video ay no other than our Vice President, no?
Yes,
So,
Your Honor.
did her position, her access or authority naka-apekto po doon sa how your investigation was conducted?
Yes, Your Honor, as I've said a while ago during the direct examination, in the analysis phase, we considered the intent, the capability, and the motive, Your Honor. Kasama po yun, kinonsider po namin. The fact that she is the second highest official of the land, and definitely she's capable of doing so. And then there is that motive in the sense na may mga issues na sila, galit na ang Vice Presidente, then na-trigger dito sa November 23.
And you would say it's not usual, the usual.
It's not a usual. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Thank you,
Kaya po.
Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva. We will be pausing for a break, Senator Bam.
Point of order lang. Mr. Presiding Officer, may hiningi
What is
po
the
tayo.
pleasure of Senator Judge Aquino?
No, just a point of order, Mr. Presiding Officer. May hiningi po kami sa defense na pagklaro. May we tackle this after the break if they have identified it in their pleading.
This in relation to your question earlier. After the others shall have been able to speak, Senator Judge Aquino, we shall be pausing for a break for 15 minutes. We shall resume on 4:44.
5.
15 minutes, 5 o'clock yan.
4:59 sana sasabihin ko eh. We shall resume at 5 p.m. When we resume, we shall recognize Senator Judge Tulfo, Senate President Gatchalian, and thereafter Senator Judge Cayetano and Marcos.
Alright. Break muna sila, ma'am. Break muna sila. Countdown tayo. Subtopic tayo ng isa, ma'am. Sata. Here we go. Countdown muna tayo. Total naka-break naman sila. Countdown tayo. Asan yung countdown?